Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's reading time. And I am very excited about it today. I just feel like talking books. I just feel like talking about books and I feel like reading books. So, pretty perfect time to do so. Although I don't know how much I'll actually be reading today because I really need to edit. I really need to get into editing. It has been a weird couple of weeks at work. Had a huge layoff that happened. And fortunately, I still have a job. I'm very happy about that. But it was a little touch and go there for a second. They announced it like the day before. It was a whole mess. But my team only lost one person. So I'm feeling grateful for that. Sad for them, obviously. But it's been just like a weird time. And I feel like I have not like been in it with reading and with YouTube and everything. So I'm just like happy to be here. But that being said, I did get like really into reading this past week. Not like I'm never not really into reading. But this past week I've been reading a lot. And so I'm like, I don't know. I'm very strongly into the habit of it right now, which is really nice. I love being there. Hello. Hi. Hi, everyone. Glad to have you here. Hi, Amelia. Hey, Sam. What are we all reading? I need to know. Love it. Just got ready making an early dinner. Perfect timing. Oh, yay. That's awesome. I'm also a little bit sick. I don't know if vocally I sound sick, but I'm very congested right now. That's why the glasses, I did not put in my contacts today. So, I just didn't want to, I don't know. My eyes felt weird enough that I was like, I think I'm going to stick to the glasses, at least for the first part of the day. We're supposed to go for a hike later. I'm waiting for the nasal decongestant to kick in to really decide what I'm going to do for that. But we'll see. I'd like to go for a hike. It's beautiful out. It snowed 2 days ago, which was really nice. But then it was like lovely yesterday. It's been lovely today. So good morning. Hello. Oh, yeah, it stinks. I feel like a lot of people in the tech industry are going through similar things right now. So, I don't know if that makes it better or worse. I think better in like the commiseration sense. Like all of my friends that I have that are in the tech industry have kind of experienced similar types of things. So like they get it. But also it's not good that like multiple people are going through this, you know? Finishing The Remembered Soldier. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Strange Houses, Little Women, and The House of the Cerulean Sea. Oh my gosh, I have read all of those books. I don't think anybody's ever mentioned 3 books, and I've read all of them. And I think my favorite of those was actually Strange Houses, unless Little Women is just the first volume, in which case I think it'd be Little Women. But overall, I think it'd be Strange Houses. And then House on the Cerulean Sea, I think I'm just like not as into cozy things as I want to be. I think I very much want to be into cozy things, and I'm just like not. Cozy mysteries, maybe. I think that those I haven't ruled out that like cozy mysteries can be for me. Reading Where the Axe is Buried by Ray Naylor. Awesome. Sounds like a mystery. I'm reading Hot Springs Drive by Lindsay Hunter and Yesteryear. Okay, what are you thinking about Yesteryear? Here's what happened. So this is one of the books that you could like request if you're in like the influencer program for Penguin in the US. And I requested it because it sounds really good. And then I happened to be in my little library, in one of the little libraries near me, and I was like, okay, that's great. Now, like, I don't even have to worry about if they approve it or not. And I hadn't heard from them, which that happens a lot of times. Usually, like, you don't hear, and then like a book shows up, and you're like, oh, this is a book I requested. You basically just are like, hey, I'd be cool with accepting this book if, you know, I'm one of the people that you choose. And so then it did end up coming. I got it yesterday. So now I have 2 copies of Yesteryear. I'm putting obviously the one from the little library back in the little library. But in the time that it took for like me to decide I wanted to read Yesteryear And now I have seen 2 videos on YouTube. One of somebody saying that they really hated Yesteryear, and one of somebody saying that it's a book you should definitely read in your lifetime as a whole, like, which is very high praise. And so now I'm like, I don't know how to think about this book anymore. Maybe it's good that I heard, like, both. I was worried because the first one I heard was, the one that was like, "I have a hair on my face, and I can't find where it's coming from." Okay, we're good. Um, but, I I'm I heard the one that where they hated it first, but I have hated I mean, have really liked other books that he's hated, so we have, like, crossover in certain areas, not in others, and I haven't quite figured it out yet because I'm new to watching his YouTube channel. Um, so I don't know. Uh, oh, working on finishing Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep today. Awesome. Have you already seen Blade Runner, or are you reading this and then you're gonna watch Blade Runner for the first time? That's what I did when I read it. I fortunately hadn't seen Blade Runner yet. Mother Mary Comes to Me. That's really hard to not just start singing. uh, oh, yes. Yeah, I think your Discord message or something. I'm assuming this is to Celeste. What is that book called? I have it in my uh on hold, not on hold for the library. What is it? It's suspended on my library, so I can get it shortly. I'm just really trying to finish up her kid and also to read books on my TBR because I really went hard in the library for a little bit, and it's been not good for my for my TBR situation. So I'm trying desperately to be good. Um Terrestrial History. That's the book. Okay. Yes, I do really wanna read that one though. I also have some friend requests on Storygraph that I haven't responded to. So if any of you are here, I'm sorry. I will respond to them today. Um, Reading Agnes Albert's, I'd never know how to pronounce that. Mystical Cat Shelter. Love it. I've been seeing that one a lot lately. That one's a cozy one where I'm like, but it's got cats, so like I should like it, right? Finishing Everyone in This Bank is a Thief. Awesome. I do need to read. Oh, just got another friend request. I've been seeing that for somebody here. That's hilarious. Love it. Uh Everyone in This Bank is a Thief. I've been wanting to continue in that series, but I think the next one for me is the Christmas one, and it feels a little weird to read that. I know I like probably those books you could read out of order, especially since I barely remember like family stuff about the main detective guy in that story. Ernest Cunningham, I think is his name. But I remember like the plots of the books, but I don't really remember. So maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I can just read in whatever order I want. But no, I need to focus on my TBR. Reading Barbara Pym, a nice comfort read after finishing my spin book. Night of Blood is Black. Oh, which I didn't like. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Was there a certain point in the book where you didn't like it? Like, was it when it got to the what is the second half of the book? Because I feel like that's what turned a lot of people off to it, was like there's a big shift. And I think a lot of people did not like the shift. Happy Sunday, random thought. But I recently heard about the book How the Penguin Saved Veronica, set in Antarctica. If anyone needs a her kid bonus. Oh, okay. I do feel like somebody commented that on one of my videos. I think I might have to look into that again. I don't know. I haven't decided yet if because I'm so close to finishing without that bonus. I did end up doing a bonus, one bonus, because technically I'm for the prompt. What is it? Oh, the new releases prompt. I technically like only wanted to for sure do a year's worth of that. So that would be for me, that was what, April of 2025 to what's the month before April? Jesus. March. To March of 2026. And so I've at this point, spoiler, I've read a new release from every month. But I did also end up reading a new release from this month. that came out this month, April. Again, April of 20, right, I was like, "Wait, I just said April, I should read April." That was April of 2025. Now I've done one for April of 2026 as well. So I just counted, like, those last couple months as bonuses of, like, if I was still in the challenge, I would get to. I did end up doing that. But I think there's a world in which I could finish still this month, but I do have, like, 4.5 books left, and the half might as well be a whole because it is, in fact, Don Quixote, which I am a little past halfway through. I think I'm like 550 pages in, which would mean that I have a little under 500 pages left to go. But I was gonna like make that my entire focus. I couldn't do it, honestly. There are parts of the book where I like read it really easily and fast, but whenever somebody starts just telling a story to us within this other book, then my brain is like, how much do I need to like commit this to memory? Like, how long are we going to be here? Because originally I thought like, oh, somebody's telling a quick story and then we'll like be back to it. No, no, no. It's like chapters on chapters of just like somebody's story to the point where the chapter names are like, in which Don Fernando continues his story about like XYZ. and like those are the actual chapter names, which is crazy to me. So like those parts of Don Quixote are not my favorite. The actual story of Don Quixote I really, really like. But it did slow down the reading process. So it did mean that I started kind of reading other books at the same time. So I did the new release that I read, which was the Evelyn Clark, V.E. Schwab plus Kat Clark. The Ending Writes Itself. That one is the new release I did for this month. And then I read finally my new release for April, or for March. And now I am actually reading Real Americans, which I had kind of started the last time I had a reading sprint, but then I put it on hold because I just like wasn't feeling into it at the time. And then I picked it up again last night after I finished the last book I read. And I'm like getting close to 50 pages in. This is the one I'll be reading today. And I'm a lot more into it now. Like it feels more right to be reading it now. But yeah, all that's to say, I don't know if I'm going to do the Antarctica Herkyed bonus prompt. I might just like try to do it at some point over like the time between now and when Herkyed's going to happen. It's hard if I had one on my bookshelf that was in it, I would do it, but I don't. And so to read another book off of my TBR, finished the names last night and started First Time Caller this morning. Awesome. Those are big books I hear a lot about, but I haven't read. After getting some other books out of the way, I'm trying to catch up on The Remembered Soldier. I'm reading the Puffin in Bloom version of Little Women, so it's Little Women and The Good Wives. Gotcha. Reading The Many Lives of Heloise. Is that it? So it kind of looks like Eloise with an H. Star Child, my third of his books, and he's always brilliant. I have never read from him before. John Ironmonger. I don't even know any of his books, but I have to say, I do love a book title that's anything about like the many blanks, like the many lives or the many deaths or the blank number of lives or the blank number of deaths. Those are like my favorite book titles. They always grab my attention. My library has had a book and bake sale yesterday. I left with a ton of books to support them. That's awesome. That's great. Not a mystery, a science fiction political thriller. Ooh, wait, that sounds fun. Hi everyone. Reading a recent release called Last Branch Standing by Sarah Isker. It says a potentially surprising, occasionally witty journey inside today's Supreme Court. Oh boy. I'm very curious with how you end up liking that, because I could go with really wanting to read it and really not wanting to read it. The Truth About Ruby Cooper last night. Couldn't put it down. It's tragic but fantastic. Ooh. I'll have to look into that one. Haven't heard of it. Hoping to start my April TBR Spin book today. Challenger by Adam Higginbotham. I can't remember what was my spin. Oh, Strange Houses, right? Was that this month? My goodness, that feels like forever ago. Yeah, because that was the color one, the color switch. And then I just said that I would also read Don Quixote because I was really trying to make Don Quixote work for it. Okay, I'm doing what I said I was going to do. I'm looking forward to the next spin. But it's not for another 2 weeks. So weird having it so late this time. Really liking Yesteryear. I'm not too far into it, but I love the concept. Yeah, the concept is really what grabbed me. The critiques have largely been that people don't like the main character, but I like morally gray and unlikable characters. Same. Okay, so hopefully I'll be good. Never seen Blade Runner. I'm going to finish the book, then watch it. Loving the book. About 65% done. Oh, great. I used to avoid books that were negatively reviewed by people I know or follow. Some of those books I ended up really enjoying after I gave them a chance. Yeah, same. I try not to hold too much stake into it, but sometimes it is hard when like you haven't heard anything about it and then you happen to hear like a negative thing about it, and it's hard not to like have it color your motivation to read the book, not necessarily your feelings about the book, but just like wanting to like pick it up next. When the museum is closed by Emi Yagi. I haven't heard of that one, but I like the title. I don't care if people hate books as long as they give me reason, so I can assume it would be for me or not. Yeah, I think that was part of the problem, was that I wasn't watching like a review of his where he like went through a bunch of books. He just like made like an offhanded like jokey comment about it, which implied that he really didn't like it. And so like I need to find like actually what he didn't like about it, because I'm sure that it's in one of, he does like monthly wrap-ups. I just need to like watch the monthly wrap-up where it's actually included. I went really hard putting holds on books for months, and then they all came to my library at the same time. So I currently have 13 books in my possession. Oh no. I have I think like 4 or 5 international Booker books in like my suspend. All of them are like now in my suspended. Actually, I think one of them I did decide to loan, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get to it. So I think I'm going to have to put it on a hold again, but whatever. Just finished Darker Shade of Magic, trying to use it for her kid trilogy prompt, but I'm terrible at series and I don't know if I will finish. If it makes you feel any better, I think every book is better than the previous book in that series, personally. I think. I'm trying to decide now if I would say like the second or third book I liked better. I rated both of them 5 stars, so like I can't use the rating to say. But I think that I think that even still the third one I would say is better than the second one. Curtis, my husband, is going through them right now. Actually, he's in the second book. Reading The Bird's Nest by Shirley Jackson. Love The Pillars of Earth, so maybe I should do a reread. It's been a while since I read it. 10 or 15 years at least. Wow. How the Penguin Saved Veronica was so cute. Okay, that's good to know. Reading The Catcher in the Rye and Gideon the Ninth. I always want to say Gideon of the Ninth. DNF The Catcher in the Rye, 60% through Gideon the Ninth. Just started our evenings. Okay, awesome. I always hear really good things about Gideon the Ninth, but not so good things about the books that follow. Not that they're bad, just like not that they're not as good, which makes me not want to do the series. I made it to 75% without doubles, and I get the feeling that I will end on that percentage, which would be okay for me. Yeah, that's super impressive, Amelia. Like that's crazy good. I only have 4.5 books left, and 2 of them are pretty short. So I'm pretty happy with that. I also finished Elena Knows last week because it was on my TBR, and I heard you talk so highly about it last live stream. It was so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you liked it. There is nothing that makes me happier than like praising a book and then somebody reading it because of that praise and then also really liking it. Like that is the absolute, dream at all times. I'm so glad you liked it. It's such a good book. It took me 2 tries to get into Gideon the Ninth. I DNF'd the audiobook, didn't like the narration, but I really enjoyed reading the physical book. Okay. That's good to know. I think at some point I could get to it, but I have too many series going on right now to even consider. For a short book at night was too long and it got a bit boring. Oh, interesting. I also didn't feel the sexual imagery comparing trenches to a vagina was necessary. Not gonna lie, forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Yep. Okay, I can see that. Oh, I missed the start. Good morning. We're having a great time. I'll start the first book in Murderbot series. I do really want to read the Murderbot series. Also, at this point, I do think I would start any book series by Nnedi Okorafor. That's my caveat. And I probably would start the Murderbot series. I need to stop. Oh, and I'm definitely gonna be starting the other James Islington series because I have the first book of it. But I'm not gonna apologize for that. But other than that, I should be starting new series. I was an undergraduate history major, so I find this kind of book interesting. You know, I hated history in school. I'm actually really liking history in general right now. Like, I don't know what it is, but like I don't read historical fiction. I just like actually reading history. Um, I swapped my spin book. I swapped my spin for I swapped my swap for the spin once again and finished the book. Okay. Good. Oh god, my brain. It's day 2 of the LA Times Festival of Books here. I spent all day yesterday. Oh, there and trying to decide if I need to go back for more today. Okay, I would like in 2027 to go to a book festival. I think that should be my New Year's resolution for 2027, and I think I should decide what book festival it should be in 2026. So if anybody has any suggestions for a book festival that I should go to, please let me know. My library doesn't have a suspension option. Oh my gosh, when they introduced that option, I was so happy because I hated doing the like, actually give me a few more weeks. The suspension is so much better. Oh, I'm sorry that you don't have it. Eagerly waiting my Hold of Caliban's War to come in. I really enjoyed Leviathan Wakes. It's making it difficult for me to get into other books. That series is so good. That is one of my favorite series of all time. I actually just like left off some books from the series in the little library that I was like considering holding on to, despite the fact that I hadn't held on to the earlier books in the series. So it was just like the last 2 and the one that had all the short stories in it. But yeah, oh, so good. Harrow the Ninth and Nona the Ninth aren't bad books. They're just confusing. Okay. I threw On Earth is Beneath from the International Booker across the room. They got it was only 101 pages. Otherwise, I would have thrown it across the room sooner. I'm sorry. So you didn't like it? I really liked that book. Oh my gosh. I can't believe. Oh, wait, I'm trying to think about what would have had such a strong impact. Oh, now I want to like message you separately to talk more about this. I'm a big believer that rarely, if ever, is a book for all. Yeah, for sure. I recommend books that I didn't like to people who I think would like them. And sometimes I don't read books depending on who recommends them. Yeah, I do think I really want to make a video that's I've seen this a few times, like a few different booktubers do this, but like where they recommend books they didn't like for the readers that they actually think should be reading it. And I feel like I have quite a few of those where I think it's more like a me problem and not the book problem. Where it's just like me as a reader didn't like it, but I think it's like actually probably a really good book. So many book series, so little time. Yes, for real. It's helpful to know the tastes of people to know if we should take the recommendation and also why or why they do or don't recommend them. Yeah, definitely. Yes, this other booktuber, I love his channel, and I love his like energy and everything. But and like some things, like he loves the Darker Shades trilogy, as do I. So some things we like super agree on, and then some things we don't. And I'm just like still learning. Still learning about it. You mentioned James Islington, and that reminded me my hold on The Strength of the Few is finally ready. So thank you for that. I've been waiting for months. Oh, good. I'm glad that it's ready. Hey, festival. Is that in where is that one? Is that in Edinburgh? I actually can't remember. I know it's somewhere in the UK. That's all I've got. I guess I shouldn't say UK. I always just want to say UK automatically, but there's part of what was the UK that is not the UK. Or I should say I know it's in Europe. There we go. I'll say that. I mean, I'm biased for the Festival of Books here. It's also the largest book festival in the country. Ooh, that's good. But it's so big that it's hard to decide what panels to do because there are too many options. It also would be decently close compared to other options. Red Murder Bot, John Ironmonger's book always has some kind of philosophical thread running underneath, but it's always grounded in characters and are so engaging and fun to read. Oh, that sounds very good. It will probably win the International Booker. Just because you didn't like it, it's going to win. It was this booktuber. I know. I feel bad because I only said like a negative thing about them, but their channel's very good. Let me, and really the only reason I haven't said it is because I can't remember his name. Actually, if I go into my history, it'll probably be not that far back. Okay, maybe it will be farther back. Oh, I think I fell asleep listening to YouTube last night, so that doesn't help because this is just a bunch of autoplays. Da, 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 da. Dylan Joseph. I really like his I've been really liking his channel recently. I think he got big on Instagram originally. Um he was doing a like random or a wheel where he would spin and it would be his whole TBR, and then he would read whatever book like randomly came up, and he just had such an entertaining way of making those videos that I really liked. And then he doesn't really do that anymore, just because it's hard to always read books that are randomly chosen for you. But he now has like a booktube channel, and I just like listening to the way he talks about books. I think it's really good. So yeah, Dylan Joseph. If you don't follow him, I recommend his channel. Um, It's in Wales. I'm not even gonna try because you know the Welsh don't pronounce letters the way that we do in English, even though it's the same letters, so I'm not gonna try. Because I would say no, I'm not gonna try. Obviously, I would love to go to Wales. I could also see Kieran again, which would be super awesome. So, Hay Festival would be really cool. I meant you should say you should read Murderbot would be a great to see how you like that series. Oh, okay. I do really want to read Murderbot. That is a true statement. You didn't say anything negative about them. That's true. You just said negative. They said negative things about the book. Love a booktuber who gives a critical comment. Yes, he is very like blatant about how he feels about books, which I do also very much appreciate. I'm really hoping the Nights Are Quiet in Tehran wins the International Booker. I think that's the one that I have currently on loan from the library that I didn't suspend because I was still in like the wishful thinking period of time where I thought I could read everything all the time all at once. But I did not. Okay. Anyways, let's get into the first reading sprint because we're not going to be able to do 4 for sure today. I think we can fit 3 in as long as we're good about breaks. Um, but I think I'm going Vrag today. Not totally sure. But yeah, I wish I liked Murderbot more than I did. Oh, next Thursday is in Barcelona is San. I feel like it wouldn't be Jordi because it's Barcelona. Is it Hordy? The Books Day. It's a beautiful festival around the city, and the tradition is to give a rose and a book as a present for your beloved ones. Oh my gosh, I wish we had that here. I want that tradition tied to anything here. That sounds so fun. I'm all for the Duke or On Earth as It Is Beneath winning the International Booker. Found Dylan. Yay. Yeah, I haven't read the Duke, but I did read On Earth as It Is Beneath, and I really liked it personally. It wasn't like 5-star, but I liked it a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let's bring up, there we go. Okay, happy reading, everybody. Okay, how did everybody do? I did not even realize that I had unmuted. I don't know when I did that. Okay. Morning. I joined late, but having the same experience with history as you. I hated history in school, but now that I can read about parts of history that interest me, I love it a lot more. Yes, I think that must be it. Like, it's just we can focus on the parts that are more interesting. Or maybe, I don't know. I also kind of think that like if you read enough books, then it starts becoming more interesting in a certain way, even though I don't really read historical fiction like ever. Although this kind of has some historical fiction in it. Multi-generational, I feel like is easier for me because it's like partially more present time. Although right now I think I'm like firmly actually no, I know when I am. I'm in the early aughts. Because we did see the Y2K New Year's and also 9/11, which was 2001. So, but I think, oh my gosh, this book, it's super readable, and I'm really enjoying reading it. My only complaint about it right now, otherwise I think I'd be having like the perfect time with it, is that the passage of time is really it's hard to follow, and then like sometimes it'll say something and I'll be like, whoa, okay, we made it like a lot further than I thought, because it really felt like we were at like the New Year's Eve party for Y2K, and then like a little bit later, what felt like to me maybe a week later, 9/11 was happening, and I was like, oh, okay, wait, a lot more time has passed than I realized. um but yeah, I otherwise super enjoying it. I'm really glad that I'm finally reading this one. I feel like it was one I was really excited about when I got it, and then it kind of fell off like my radar. But then I realized that it could work for the rainbow cover for as in 7 plus colors on the cover for Herkyed, and I felt like that was perfect. So decided to read it, even though I did have another rainbow cover that I think really could have worked. But I'm also trying to read more diversely, and the other one wasn't a diverse read. This one is, so works out even better. Hoping to finish my book today. Today's also my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Yay. Oh, I'm glad you're joining us for a little bit of your birthday. Excuse me. Sorry. Couldn't mute fast enough. I have a bit of a cold for those of you that weren't here earlier, so I might sound a little stuffy. And that's also why I've not put in my contacts today. Been reading Jawbone today since it's my TBR Spin book, and it's so weird and engaging and has a strong voice. Ooh. The Duke didn't make the short list. Wait, sorry. Did we already get the short list for the Booker Prize? Did I just not know? Okay, we're gonna do impromptu reaction. That's not gonna be very interesting because I've only read 2 of the books. Okay. On Earth as It Is Beneath. So that's one that I've read. So Wax Child did not make it. I'm not surprised by that, actually. Although I did like it. But I don't know. I feel like she's such a specific reader. Although she made it to the long list, so like for them to continue. Anyways. Okay, so I think there's only 2 that are on the list. Taiwan Travelogue and The Nights Are Quiet in Tehran that I have on that I'm like planning to read through the library. Um, And then I think I have 2 others from the library that did not make it to the long list. But yeah, the only one that I've read of these are On Earth as It Is Beneath, which I personally enjoyed. No reading, but I did finish doing the dishes. Nice. I've got 12 pages left in the book. Oh my gosh, The Remembered Soldier. Wow. Momentous. I forgot, such a shame. That was the hidden gem this year. Oh, maybe I should read that one. I read a few pages, but we're making dinner now. 44 pages of Mystical Cat Shelter. Oh yeah, I didn't even say how far I made it. I made it to page 70 and I started, I think I was like just short of 50 pages when I started. So not very far, although it felt like I was really moving. I think that I'm going to get through this book pretty quickly. I'm really enjoying this, although it is like very different depending on the part you're in. So right now I'm in Lily's part. So this is 3 generations. So the bottom generation, what is his name? Nick. So Nick is the youngest, and then Lily's in the middle, and is actually who we start with. And then her mother, whose name is, why am I not seeing her mother's name? Maybe it's not in the synopsis. But we also get her. Oh wait, it should be at the very beginning because the prologue was from her perspective. No, it's still not there. But Lily's mom is the oldest generation. So I think it goes Lily, then Nick, and then it goes back up to Lily's mom. And so Lily's mom is the one that immigrated to the US from, I think, China. And yeah, I'm pretty sure because Lily keeps talking about how she doesn't know Chinese or Mandarin or Cantonese. And then Lily was like born in the US, and so she doesn't really like remember anything. Or obviously she has like no, she doesn't have like a real connection with that. And then Nick will of course be even one more step removed. But right now Lily's like working in New York in the early aughts, and I don't know, I'm really enjoying her story, even though she's making decisions I wouldn't make. But I understand why she's making them. And I don't know. I really like following her. I really like her as a character in general. So hopefully I feel the same once we get to the other parts. And then I think at some point we like kind of flip back and forth between them. Joined in late, but only 100 pages left in my book now. We'll definitely be finishing it today. Awesome. Cat on the lap makes reading cumbersome, especially when the book is physically dense. Yeah, I did have to remove the cat that was on my lap. Zuko came over here, but usually he just comes, he wants to be like pet for a little bit. And then you can like put him in a bed and he'll just go to sleep. So that's what I did. I put him back there and he's asleep now. I literally call it putting him down for a nap. You just have to pet him for a little bit on your lap and then you can put him down for a nap. 16% left in my book. Oh, getting close. A lot of people getting close to finishing today. I think it's time to decide what I want for lunch. I read a few pages, slow but progress. Yeah, all progress is good progress. This is a random question, but can you give advice about BookTube? Ooh, I have a Bookstagram, but I've been thinking about doing BookTube. But I don't know where to start / don't know anyone personally who has one. Yeah, I also didn't know anybody that had one. I would say that if you were thinking of starting, I do think it's a good idea to start. It's tough to say because it was over 5 years ago now that I started mine. But I started with the tag video that's like a BookTube newbie. And I think that there are people that like constantly look for people that do that video. So it's like a good to find, and it also kind of like defines what it is about like BookTube that you like and like why you want to join, why you like the community and stuff. So I think that that's probably, that helped me. But also I didn't have a Bookstagram account when I started. I just jumped into YouTube. So like knew nothing. So maybe it would help, like maybe you could do any video and just post about it on your Bookstagram and have like a couple people. Cause I think honestly, once you have like a couple people that'll comment on each video, it makes it a lot easier because it does feel like you're not talking into a void, you're like talking to people. But yeah, and then besides that, I think that's the only like really tag video that does well anymore, even though tag videos are really easy to make and kind of fun to make because it's just like answering questions. But I think TBR videos, reading wrap-ups are like generally pretty easy to do and make and talk about. And there are always people looking for that. So I think just like starting with those and kind of like getting the feel for that, especially as you get, like, more comfortable talking on camera. Oh, if I look back on my earlier stuff, it was it was clear, like, in my head, I felt like I was comfortable, but it was clear that I was, like, not comfortable. Um, and filming, like, when you more feel like it, especially at the beginning, I think is a lot more fun. Um, if you are planning on doing, like, videos that are more thought out, like, um, even like a reading wrap up, I would say, it always helps me to have, like, the, bullet points of, like, maybe the synopsis of it, because sometimes I forget, the synopses to things, so a lot of times I'll have, like, that as, like, or points that I, like, wanna mention from the book so that I don't forget them. That really helps me, and I didn't start doing that until a little bit into it, but that was, like, a big game changer, and also it helped with editing so much. Also figure out what editing software to use. I know there's free ones out there. I did start with Final Cut personally, but I know that that's, like, actually, no, I think I did start with a free thing or something that, like, I had gotten through work so I could get, like, another free copy on my personal computer at the time, which I don't think that would have worked out now with how my work is set up, but, um, okay, I do think I edited my first couple of videos on just, like, a software I had a access to, which was Camtasia. Not good for video editing, but it was good because I didn't have to pay any money. Now I use Final Cut. I really like it. I know a lot of people like Adobe's, I think Camtasia is technically Adobe, but the Adobe Premiere is the one that, like, is the good editor. But I think that's subscription based, and I just prefer personally to pay for something and be done with it and just, like, have it. Um, but yeah, I think those are, like, all of my, like, quick tips. I've never had to collect them all before, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, and it's just, like, it's fun to get to know people, and, it's really cool. I'm really glad that I started doing it. It can be a lot of work, but it kinda depends on what you want out of it. It doesn't take a lot to get to the point where, like, you have people that you're consistently talking to and everything, and that I think is honestly one of, like, the most rewarding parts of it. Another happy birthday. I have 1 book on the short list and, 2 books on the long list left. Wow. Oh my gosh, you're doing so great. I celebrated yesterday with family, so today I'm just relaxing and reading. Oh my gosh, it sounds like the perfect birthday weekend. Read The Witch, loved it. Reading and relaxing is a great way to spend, a birthday. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I've done that several times in the past. I think I have a video actually where it was my dark academia video, and for part of it, it was my birthday, and I just went to a cafe and read, and it was really wonderful. I think this is the slowest buddy read I've ever done. Life gets in the way all the time, and my reading is so slow currently. Yes, my reading was very slow like a week ago, and then this past week, it's like really picked up again. And already I'm like getting the same vibes from this book as I got from my last book, where I just like, I'm like, I'm gonna read that quick. Although I will switch to editing. Can I share a cat update? My outdoor cat came to me and nuzzled his face on my hand, and I think he's kind of mine now. The cat distribution system has blessed me. Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's great. Oh, my cats are currently sunbathing on the table. Love it. Yeah, usually actually, Klaus is probably in our bedroom. The sun might not be hitting there anymore, but he starts out there and then, once the sun's away, he's just continues napping there. So if I had to guess, that's probably where he is. But I do have the other 2 cats. I have Scout is on my desk, and Zuko is in the bed back there. I joined in the middle of, the sprint, but I'm working on a coding project during sprints today. Oh, how fun. I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of project it is, but it sounds like it's not like a work thing. So I feel like coding's fun when it's not for work. Not that I do any coding in my work, but, uh, I feel like I don't know. Hopefully it's fun for you. Um, Thanks for the tip. So many booktubers crowdsource for ideas, but it's harder when you don't have an audience yet who actually replies. Picking software is going to be a learning curve. Yes. Yeah. What I did was I got 1 free month of Skillshare, like because there was always somebody, especially at the time, that had that. And then I took a class that was on Final Cut because I'd already like chosen the software that I wanted. And then that was like good to help me just learn like how to just do like bare minimum what I wanted to do, like cut out, my messed up attempts and things like that. and get it and, like, publish it at the end, like, where that was all I needed, and it taught me how to do that, like, in a pretty quick manner, and then it was easier from there. But I'm sure there's gotta be, like, free tutorials on, like, YouTube and stuff too. Maybe my first video should be about yesteryear. Yes. I would watch it, especially and maybe that would make me, like, read it faster to watch it. I love watching reviews after I've read the books. I very rarely watch them before, unless I know I'm not gonna read it for a while. For a school assignment, actually, but I'm still enjoying it. Oh, good. I'm glad. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the second reading sprint, and I'm trying to think if I can definitely do I think I can do a third one. We might have to do it a little shorter, but, I think the sprint is going to be reading. For me, it's gonna be editing. I was gonna say unfortunately, but it's good. Okay. Yes, happy reading, everybody. Totally missed that. It's break time. Okay. Break time. How did everybody do? My volume must be really low. Let's see. Turn that up a little bit. How was everybody? That was the last message. My brain. Editing is going pretty well. This is just like a tough video because it's different than what I normally do, and I have like a lot of like weird random footage. And also the order of it is not quite right. I think like because I use sometimes like my GoPro, and then I also have like actually I have another 2 cameras, but I usually only use one of them. And the date must be wrong on like my GoPro or something, or like the time, because it always like orders the footage really weird once I like import it, and it makes it so hard to figure out what I've done. But it's coming together. But I think that also that was a large part of me struggling to like find the time to edit, because I have no idea how long it's going to take, because it's so different than the normal stuff that I do, whereas other stuff that I edit, it's like it's easy to kind of figure out, because I've done it so many times. Up to 23% in Calabasas. Nice. I read 50 more pages in Strange House. I've got to head out for a birthday party, though. Oh, another somebody's birthday, and somebody's going to a birthday party. I hope you have fun. Are you working on the Her Kid video? I am not. That is going to be my next video that I work on. I'm hoping to get this one up like really soon, because I'd like to do Her Kid like later this week. But no, I have not started editing for Her Kid. Fortunately, I'm gonna have some time off this week. I mean, I'll be in North Carolina with my parents and everything, but I think I'll still have like time here and there. So I think I'm just gonna bring my personal computer, which is great, because last time I went, I was like also working, so I had to bring my work computer, and I don't think I brought my personal computer at all. So I wasn't doing any editing while I was there. But sometimes it's nice to edit like in a different place. But if I'm really on top of my game, then I'll have it all edited by the time I leave. But I just don't see that happening. So hopefully I'll just like be able to make a lot of good progress. And then I can work on it, even like in the airport and stuff. If I've already picked the music and everything, I shouldn't need the internet for anything. And if I already have the visuals from Canva. So if I do those first, then I should be good. Oh, but I haven't filmed the sit down portion of that. How have I not realized that until this moment? Okay. I'm going to have to do that on Tuesday, because I don't think I can do that. I don't think I have time on Monday. We'll see. But I'm hoping that by the end of this week is when Her Kid will be up. I finished on part of my coding project. Great job. 86 pages into Mystical Cat Shelter. That's awesome. Made it to 77%, and I'm chugging along. I have a feeling I'll finish it today at this rate. I'm so intrigued. Oh, awesome. I'm glad. Finished my book and ate lunch. Great job. Read 10% more in For the Wolf. I have a book called The Wolf. No, it's called Wolf Hour. Just kidding. A totally different book. I thought for a second that maybe I was misremembering the title, and that it was the same book, but it's not. Made it to 60%, but having a hard time keeping my eyes open because I'm so tired. I mean, would not fault you for leaving it here and going to bed, but there will be one more sprint. So like, I'm going to leave that up to you. Last reading sprints, I fell asleep for the last 2.5 sprints and woke up. So sad, but it was needed. Yeah. I mean, if you're falling asleep, I feel like sleep is needed. That's what I think. Finished the introduction and fed the cats. Great job. Oh, I didn't even realize Zuko left. I hear cats and I just look for where my cats are. That's good though. Ugh, I still don't know about this hike. I feel like I'm blowing my nose too frequently to want to, but I also want to be outside. Ugh, I don't know. I feel like all I can do is think about where my day's going, and also this video. My brain is, like, in this video now that I'm editing it, but I am pretty close to being done with the first pass through, which I think is really the hard part when it comes to a video where I don't know exactly what it's gonna look like. But I am gonna have to film voiceover and also an intro because I didn't even do an attempt at an intro to this video. I don't know what I was thinking. I just started, like, filming clips for it. So, I need to do that at some point. But oh, finish The Remembered Soldier. Great job. Proud of you. Posting my review, the book was exhausting. Maybe exhausting in a good way? Do you have, like, book hangover now? I feel like long books always give me a book hangover. Okay. Good, but I'm burnt out. Yes. Okay. So generally it sounds like good thoughts about the book, but yeah, tough to talk about. I want to do a post on Instagram for like the books that I read or like finished over the past week. And also just like some things that I did because I had some fun this past week and I didn't end up like adding anything to my story. I was like taking clips and stuff, but sometimes I do a bad job of like, I'll be like, oh, this will be good for a story. And then I just I just record it and then I'm like, and put the phone away, keep enjoying the moment, and then like forget about it. But now, yeah, so now I'm like, I should try to put that stuff in a post. And also I have like 2 books that I kind of want to talk about, and I don't want to wait until Her Kid for April to talk about them that I read this past week. So I might do like a little Instagram post. And always in my ideal state on my Instagram, I do a post once a week where I just wrap up what I'm reading, what I finished reading, and the things that I've been doing. And like that's just one post every week. In reality, I prep half of that post every week and I never post it. So this week I'm hoping I do want to post that one today. I thought about using some of the sprint time to like encourage me to actually do that. Maybe I will for this next sprint now that if I get through the first pass of this video, I'll do that as a part of this next sprint. But if I don't, I won't be too upset with myself. It's so sunny. We have blue skies, but it's still under 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So I know it's foolish to try to read outside. Still so tempting. I have done it in that cold, but like I bring a blanket and I like get really wrapped up and I have a tea that goes cold almost instantly. But I have done it. It's not the most enjoyable thing. Maybe that's why I have a cold. I need to write some reviews, but I keep putting it off. Most recently, I finished I Who Have Never Known Men. How does one even review it? So beautiful. Yeah. I feel like I talked about that book too soon after I finished reading it too, because my thoughts like continually developed on that one. Also, I really want to do a review, like a post on Chain Gang All Stars. Wow, my brain. I took some pictures for it and I like pulled out some quotes from it. And so I really want to make that post, but also I'm the same thing. I'm like struggling with trying to actually review it and like talk about it because there's so much to it that I really like. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's so tough when writing is so beautiful and then I go and write my review and I'm like, this writing is not beautiful. It almost feels like weird, them side by side in my brain, even though I know probably nobody thinks about it that way, but I don't know. My fingers always freeze. Yeah. Yeah, that is a real problem. I don't make it very long, to be fair, when I do read when it's very cold. But I try sometimes. Here it's sometimes okay if the sun's out, if you're actually like in the sun, but unfortunately our porch area, the sun does not hit it for most of the year. We are getting, I think, close-ish to when it'll hit it for a little bit in the morning, and I'm really getting excited for that. But then it'll have warmed up enough that like it won't really have mattered temperature-wise. But I am looking forward to it. Oh, also they just announced that they are doing yoga in the park again this year, and I am so excited for that. Oh, I can't wait because those were like the best mornings. I would like go do some yoga, read afterwards, like still on my yoga mat. Oh, speaking of, I do think that I might be transitioning to the reading sprints that we do in maybe the afternoons or evening times, my time, of weekdays, which I do apologize for those of you that are I know quite a few of you are in Europe, and I don't know how well that time would work out because I think that would be like would that be that would be in work time for you, or would that be dead of night for you? I don't remember. I'm trying to think of time change. I think in the East Coast, it's a 5-hour difference generally, and where I am now, that would make it a 7-hour difference. So, yeah. I don't think it's, like, the ideal time for you all. But I think that I might have to, just because it's summertime and, like, weekends there's so many things that we wanna do on the weekends, so thank you, plus 7 hours. I feel like I was so good at it when I was on East Coast time at, like, what time the time change was, and I never, like, got good at it here. But yeah, I do wanna say that that's probably gonna be happening for, like, a couple of like, just the summer months, and then probably bring it back to the weekends. But the good news is for those in Australia that never get to join in on these, they will at least get get some period of time where that'll happen. But yeah, I think that that's just gonna work better for the schedule, and also mean that I can do more sprints instead of when I do them on the mornings in the summer. It means that I almost always have something going on, so I need to, like, cut them short and everything. But yeah, speaking of, let's do the last reading sprint. I think we can do a full sprint. I have time for that. So let's go ahead and do it. Happy reading, everybody. I guess it's good that I'm getting like so locked into reading that I can't tell. I don't know why the sound isn't coming through though. But we did it. We did the reading sprints. I didn't quite get through the first edit of this, although I'm very, very close. And so hopefully I will be able to finish it soon. I would love if this like went live tomorrow and then I could just focus on the Her Kid video, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. And then maybe I'll give myself till Monday of next week for the Her Kid video for March's Her Kid. April's Her Kid should be sooner. I think really just life got in the way this month. But I hope everybody had a good, productive last reading sprint. One of my voids wanted to get picked up. I wasn't fast enough and she decided to jump scared me half to death the first time she did that. Yeah, was it like you bending over and she like jumped up onto your back? Because my void does that. I have to start terrestrial history this week because it will be due at the library soon. And since there's a long waiting list, I can't extend my loan. Oh yeah, fair. I do really want to, maybe that'll be, I don't know. I've got like plans for right now that I'm thinking of for right after I finish my Her Kid books. But I do think I could squeeze that one in. I think actually it kind of depends on what I get for TBR Spin. If I get one of the giant books for TBR Spin, I don't think I can, but if I get one of the shorter ones, I think I can. The Remembered Soldier is definitely a book that is testing your patience, but I think it's done on purpose. Yeah, I do kind of want to read it. I don't know, but I probably won't for a very long time if I had to guess. We'll have to buddy read another book this summer, really a shorter one than Remembered Soldier. Yeah, for sure. Oh, sorry, you only just got here. Yeah, that was the last reading sprint, sadly. But it was great to be with all of you this weekend. Again, 2 weeks from today will be TBR Spin for May. So May will technically have already started for it. But that is when we will do the spin, figure out what we're reading. But if you are one of those people that like to choose your TBR beforehand, I totally understand, and maybe just random number generator it off of your TBR Spin. But that is when it will be happening. So what date is that? May 3rd. May 3rd is when we will be spinning for TBR Spin for May. And then we should be back into our normal doing it for or like last weekend of the month. But I'll be out of town next weekend, going to North Carolina again to see my mom in Fiddler on the Roof. I'm so excited. She's playing Golda, so it's very exciting. I can't wait. I love the music from Fiddler too, so it should be a lot of fun. But yes, thanks everybody for joining. Totally fine. It happens. Bit late getting back because I wanted to finish Hot Springs Drive. Now to spend more of the afternoon driving back in the yesteryear. Will report back. Can't wait to hear. And I hope that you do end up deciding to create a booktube. I will definitely be watching. So let us know. Let us know what happens. Organized my Obsidian, got 10 pages of reading done. Organized my Obsidian. That made zero sense to me, but I'm glad. The Remember Soldier is the one of the 3 I've left. Oof, it's a big one. It's a big one. Anyways, I will see you all in 2 weeks, but otherwise I should have, if all goes well, 2 videos out before then. Maybe 3? Should it be 3? No, 2. I think 2. But yeah, see you then. Bye.